Welcome to Busy Bee Woodworking. Today we're going to take a second look at our bottle lamp and put a little more detail into what goes into making this. Now for our lamps we go through the bottom of the bottle, so we use a diamond bit drill here with some water so it doesn't overheat to drill through the base, because we run the wire through that and into our live edge. Now this hole needs to be continued through that live edge, but we put a backer board so we don't blow out the back of this. And my favorite part of every project, sanding. Okay, so bad placement of the camera, but you get a point. You gotta chisel the edges. But on a serious note, we used a chisel on this one to chisel out the channel to go through. The other one we used a router bit because we were actually encasing it inside the wood there. I found though that the chisel actually made a better cut and a better overall finish, so I was pretty happy with that. Another change that we did is we ended up going to this clear Loctite adhesive to hold the bottle to the live edge, and it worked really well. Now this stuff does set up pretty quick, but you do have a little bit of time in the beginning here to move the bottle around if you need to reposition it. Important thing is make sure that hole that you drilled through the bottle lines up with the hole that went into the live edge base. And then I just took a really thin pick and just kind of scraped it away, cleaned it up as I could. You just want to be careful you don't smear this around too much, because afterwards I had a sand before I clear coated. Now right here I went ahead and I used this Waterlocks finish, and it is quickly becoming one of my favorite finishes for unstained wood. It really brings out a really nice color in this walnut specifically. Now we just feed the wire in, and I found it easy to just put a little piece of blue tape on the base so you know where to put the knot in, and then pull it up through, put the knot in, and then pull it right back down. Now a minor detail, I like to keep the cap, so I put a 7/8 inch paddle bit and drilled a hole through the cap, and I trimmed up the label just so it really covers up where the wire comes in and where all that housing is. Specifically this little white insert for the bottle cap top, it hides it really well. Now this one I did 30/30 casings and 30/6 casings, and personally I feel like it looks a lot better than the 9mm, but go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think. Now for these bigger casings, you're going to really need to manage that wire. What I also did here was I helped myself with a flathead screwdriver just to kind of help guide down these and lay them where I wanted to so it would hide the wire better. It's just that little attention to detail that makes the difference. Okay, here comes the disclaimer. I am not an electrician, but you can see right here from the lamp kit, it clearly leaves the instructions on how to properly put this together. I left this in here just so you can kind of see what you get into, but it's important to know how to properly wire this, and if you don't feel comfortable, make sure you find an electrician to do it. Okay, so now that we have the adapter put in there, the original cap from the bottle itself that we drilled the hole through, and we also have the slide ring on there. Now we thread the nipple down so 1/4 of an inch is exposed, and that will be accepting the socket cap. Now here's where it can get kind of tricky to see, but after you've fed the wire through the socket cap, you want to do an underwriter's knot, and then you can attach these wires to the terminals. I also put just a little curl hook on it just so it accepts that screw a little bit better, but also make sure that you're putting the wire on that left side of the screw. We're also making sure that the neutral conductor, which has like a ribbed edge on it from the insulation, is put on the silver screwed side, and then we're going to connect the other conductor to the brass. Now that's specifically to this unit, and like again I said, we're putting on the left side, that way the screw will pull it up rather than pushing it out as you tighten it down. So we just put in a light bulb here for a quick test, make sure everything was wired up properly before we moved on. And then we took a little bit of hot glue, just dabbed 2 spots just to hold the wire up into the groove while we go ahead and get ready to attach the cork bottom. Now the cork bottom is just laid out and a rough cut. And then after we have it rough cut, we're going to come back with 3M adhesive spray, spray it down, and then we can lay this live edge down on it and it will grab and adhere right to it. Now we just come back with our razor and just cut to the edge line of the live edge and the base and clean it up and make it look nice.
And now for our big reveal.